only the phase constant will be there. So in that case, the power content of the transmitted signal and the received signal will be same. Okay, and we calculated the value of the phase constant, and by using these equations we calculated the value of characteristic impedance, which was given by the Z0 equal to under root of L by C, which is independent of the frequency. And then we talked about the phase velocity also, which will also be dependent only on the two components, that is the L and C. So it is also independent of the frequency. So whatever frequency signal we transmit, that will be transmitted without any loss in the power, right? And then we talked about the distortionless line, in which we talked about that for a distortionless line, your condition will be that R upon L will be equal to G by C. That is, the attenuation constant will be constant, and attenuation constant alpha and will be frequency independent, and the phase constant beta will be linearly dependent on the frequency. And by taking this condition, that is R upon L equal to G by C, we calculated the values of the propagation constant, and by evaluating that value, we calculated the value of attenuation constant, that is under root Rg, and phase constant, which will be omega under root Lc, and the characteristic impedance, which was again given by the under root L by C or R by C. So your characteristic impedance will again independent of the frequency, and similarly your attenuation constant will also be independent of the frequency. And so this was the summary of all the three cases, that is the general transmission line, then the lossless, and the distortionless. Then we talked about the terminated transmission line, in which we tried to calculate the input impedance of this two-wire transmission line. So we are discussing this two-wire transmission line, in which we know this is the initial equations of the voltage and the current, in which this V0 plus e to the power minus gamma z is a forward propagating wave, whereas the second term, which is V0 minus e to the power gamma z, this will be the backward wave, or the reflected wave. We can say this is the reflected wave. Okay, and similarly we calculated the values for this current also. And now if we are given with the values of the voltage and the current at the source terminals, that is at these two terminals where we are connecting the source. So if these two values are given, that is the voltage and the current, that is V0 and I0. So how to characterize these two parameters, that is the amplitude of the forward propagating wave and the amplitude of the backward propagating wave, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, yes. And this two-wire transmission line was modeled with this simple equivalent circuit, in which we have replaced this entire transmission line with a impedance of Zn, which is input impedance, which is looking into this transmission line from this source end or the generator end, right? And if we solve this equivalent circuit, so we can calculate the value of I0 and V0 very easily, which is V0 will be given by Zn upon Zn plus Zg into Vg, right? This will be the voltage division. And similarly, you can calculate the current also, which will be total applied voltage, which will be the generator voltage upon divided by the total impedance, which is the summation of generator input impedance and the input impedance of the transmission line. Is it clear?
Yes,
So,
yes, sir.
Yes,
yes?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Then we talked about So this was the topic which we were discussing, that if we are given with the voltage at load terminal, voltage and current at the load terminal, so by putting the value of substituting the value of Z equal to L in this first equation, you can calculate the value of VLZ, right? Because your this voltage will be VL. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we can substitute those values by putting the value of Z equal to L, and VSZ will be replaced by VL, and similarly ISZ will be replaced by IL. Okay. So after calculating those two values, you can calculate the value of these two amplitudes, which is V0 plus and V0 minus, and okay. So now what is this V0 plus? This is the amplitude of the signal which is transmitting from generator towards the load or in the positive Z direction, whereas V0 minus was the amplitude of the wave which is propagating from generator or the Z equal to 0 plane towards the negative Z direction or the backward direction, right? Then, so there is another parameter which is the input impedance, which we talked about. So it will be given by voltage at the, so the input impedance at any point on the transmission line can be evaluated as voltage at that point upon current at that point, right? So this will be the equation. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Now if I want to calculate the input impedance at generator, so what will I do? I will put that Z equal to 0. So what is the value of VSZ at Z equal to 0 location or the generator location? It will be the value V0 plus or we can say the summation of forward transmitting amplitude of the forward transmitting wave and the backward transmitting wave, right? Because your this exponential term will be replaced by 1. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
And similarly, the current will be given by V0 divided by Z0 minus upon Z0, right? So by using these two equations, so this will be the equation. Yeah. So this will be the equation, and now since we are knowing the values at load terminals and the amplitudes in terms of load voltage and the load current, so we can substitute these two values in this equation and we can calculate the value as this one. Yes, we can substitute these two values. This equation, yes. So when we substituted them, then we got this equation, which is Z0 into ZL plus Z0 on Z0 plus ZL into tan hyperbolic function of gamma L, right? But in general, we talk about the lossless transmission line. So in case of lossless transmission line, your alpha will be 0, right?
Yes, sir.
And tan hyperbolic, what will be the value of gamma? Gamma will be given by J beta. So tan hyperbolic function of J beta will be equal to J tan beta, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So your this will be the input impedance of a lossless transmission line, right? Now, by putting using this equation, we will analyze few cases. So these are the cases. First one is the if your load impedance is given short circuited, that means the load impedance is 0, then what will be the input impedance? will this be the input impedance? If it is uh,
Yes, sir.
J10 right? Yes. For ZL equal so so zero zero sorry
J10 beta L.
Z naught upon J10 beta L. So which will be given by minus J Z naught cot beta L. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the third case is if I terminate the transmission line with the and right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And these are the other cases in which now we are varying the length of the transmission line. So if we vary this transmission line length is lambda by 8, that is 1/8 of the wavelength of the signal, then what is left behind? What will be the value of 10 beta L in that case? The beta is given to be 2 pi by lambda into what is the value of L? L is given by lambda by 8. So lambda will cancel out and you will be left behind by pi by 4. So 10 beta L, that is 10 pi by 4 is 1. So what is left behind? Z naught into ZL plus J Z naught upon Z naught plus J ZL. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the value of input impedance for a short circuit? If the load impedance is short circuited, then you are left behind with the only reactive impedance, right? So in both the cases, that is simply for a lambda by 8 line, you will be left behind with the reactive impedance for the transmission line, okay? Both in open circuit and the short circuit, both cases, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in case of characteristic impedance termination, your impedance will input impedance will always be equal to the characteristic impedance. Okay. So I'm not going to discuss that thing again. Then if we talk about the quarter wave transformer line, that is lambda by 4. So for a normal load impedance, we will get this value Z0 square by ZL, right?
Yes, sir.
It would be better if you keep on solving these equations along with this lecture. Okay. So if you will put this lambda by 4, replace L with lambda by 4, so you will be left behind with the 10 pi by 2, so which will again equal to infinity. So you will be left behind with the, here in the numerator you will be left behind with Z Z naught square upon J ZL. So it will give you Z naught square by ZL, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But now see the difference what is making it. For a short circuit, what will be the input impedance? If your Z naught ZL is 0, so what will be the value of this parameter or this input impedance? If ZL is 0,
Infinity.
it will be infinite. So that quarter wave transformer line which is terminated with a short circuit, it will act as an open circuit, right? And similarly for the open quarter wave transformer line which is terminated with an open circuit or the infinite impedance, so it will act as a short circuit, right? If we replace this ZL with infinity, so what will be the value? It will lead to 0, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And what about this lambda by 2? See, for this lambda by 2 length, that is half wavelength transmission line, your 10, this beta L will be replaced by pi. So 10 pi is 0, so you will be left behind with the Z0 into ZL upon Z0. So it will give you a value of ZL simply, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the half load impedance will be directly transferred to the input impedance terminal if the length of the transmission line is either half wavelength or complete wavelength, that is lambda, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay. Now, one more parameter is there which is known as the reflection coefficient, which is the ratio of reflected voltage signal, if we are talking about voltage signal, then reflected voltage signal divided by the incident voltage signal. Okay, so this one is the V0 minus e to the power gamma z. This is the complete backward traveling voltage signal, and this V0 plus e to the power minus gamma z is the forward traveling wave signal. So this will give you this value, that is V0 minus upon V0 plus into e to the power 2 gamma z, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I use this equation, in if I use this equation in this one, so can I write it like this one? So can I take this V0 plus into e to the power minus gamma z common from both the terms, and I will be left behind with this equation, because this will be your term e to the power what is this first term? This first term is V0 plus e to the power minus gamma z, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And what will be the second term? It will be V0 minus upon V0 plus e to the power 2 gamma z, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this term, we can replace this term with simple this gamma, that is the propagation reflection coefficient, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So this will be the equation of the voltage signal, or we can say the voltage at any point when you are talking about the voltage generating from the transmitting from the generator term, okay, from the zeros. Okay. Now if I talk about reflection coefficient at the load terminal, so it will be given by gamma L, and this Z will be replaced with L. So this will be the equation for reflection coefficient at load terminal. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So what was the value of this V0 minus? The V0 minus was given by this term, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And V0
Yes, sir.
plus was given by this term. So the exponential terms will cancel out, and you will be left behind with this equation, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
sir.
And if I take divide both the numerator and denominator with IL, so what will be the term? VL upon IL, which will be given by ZL minus Z0 upon ZL plus Z0, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is a reflection coefficient equation for a transmission line. Okay. Now, what will be the reflection coefficient when your transmission line is terminated with a short circuit? This ZL will be replaced with 0, right? Hello?
It will be -1.
Yeah, it will be -1. And what about for open circuit?
So +1.
It will be +1. Okay, and the third case is if the transmission line is terminated with the characteristic impedance, then ZL will be equal to Z0. So this reflection
0.
coefficient will be 0. That means there will be no reflecting wave, right?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes? Okay. Now what is the significance of this gamma L equal to -1? Since this is a complex quantity, so it will give you that the wave will be propagating in there will be backward wave, but there will be uh, phase transition of 180 degrees. That means the forward wave and the backward wave will be 180 degree out of phase. Whereas in case of open circuit, there will be no out of phase component in the backward wave. Okay, so the incident wave and the reflected wave, they will be in the in phase component. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if I say that I want to calculate the reflection coefficient at this point, which is at a distance of L dash from the load terminal. Till now we were talking about the distance from the generator terminal, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in that case, what you have to substitute, since this is the length L dash from the load terminal, so we will replace this as Z equal to L minus L dash, and in that case your reflection coefficient at any point Z, which is at a distance of L dash from the load terminal, it will be given by this equation, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And after substituting, what you will get? You get gamma L into e to the power minus of 2 gamma L dash, right? Where L dash is the distance from the load terminal. Are you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So now by using this reflection coefficient, you can calculate one more parameter, or by the superposition of transmitted and the reflected signal, uh, you will get standing waves in that component, and so there will be some maximas and minimas. So what will be the value of maxima? The maxima will be the case when both the transmitted and the reflected signals are getting added up, right?
Yes, sir.
And what about the minimum voltage or the minimum current?
Destructive.
When they are totally out of phase, so we can say their difference will be the minimum value, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if I divide this both the numerator and denominator of this equation with V0 plus, so I will get this equation. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Since this reflection coefficient is a complex quantity, but VSWR is never a complex quantity, so we are using simply the magnet. Okay, so dear students, now we will meet on Monday and we will continue with the lecture on that day. Okay, for today it is up to this point. Is it clear?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
If
sir.
someone has any
Thank you,
doubt,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Thank you.